How's it going, everybody? It is me, Dr. Weasel, and I'm back. I know it's been a minute. It's actually been an entire year. I have no idea how it's been a year, but today we are doing a mock draft. Let's just hop into it. Las Vegas Raiders. They're going with Fernando Mendoza. It is one of the easiest picks you're probably gonna mock. He's gonna be the first overall pick. It's not gonna change probably. The Jets. The Jets are an interesting team because I mean they have five first rounders in the next 2 years, as they have two this year and they have another three I think next year. I could be wrong with that. I think they have three or two. So they're a team that's in they're in a good situation obviously to start their rebuild because they have no one on defense. They traded Sauce, they traded Quinn Williams. Now it really comes down to, in my opinion, I would say there's like three players right now that I think it comes down to. I think it's Ruben Bain, Arvell Reese, David Bailey. Now, here's the thing, right? Ruben Bain, he's got the pass rush upside. He's got he can play the run. Here's the only thing. He's got short arms and production wasn't exactly there for this year. I mean, 12 sacks is there, but I'm saying for the past few years the production's not super amazing, but he's a really good player, really good player. I think he could be really good. Only thing is the short arms, right? You look at a player like Will Campbell, the short arms are starting to become maybe an issue. So you could argue that teams start to look at that, go, I don't know, is second overall pick a little too high for him? You look at Arvell Reese, he's a beast. Arvell Reese is really good. He's really good, but he's a linebacker. Are you going to move him to edge, right? I think that's kind of the idea there is you move him to edge and you're picking him. You're at number two. Yeah, he's a linebacker, but he's going to edge probably. Or you got David Bailey, who is maybe the best pass rusher in the draft. He's not the best against the run. Doesn't mean he can't play the run, but you're looking at a player that, is David Bailey maybe the player they go for, that upside of being the best pass rusher in this draft? Only thing is he's on a three down edge, right? The problem is that, okay, yeah, we can have a player that can get to the quarterback, but if we can't stop the run, what's that really going to do, right? I think honestly, I think a realistic pick is Arvell Reese, as linebackers a need, edge is a need, D line overall is a need. I think he can come in and kind of be almost like a Micah Parsons. You could have him at edge, you can have him at linebacker his first year, and then if you want, you can move him to a full time edge. Or worst thing comes to worst, you leave him at linebacker. You have a really good linebacker, arguably an easy, could be a top 10 linebacker, top five, I mean, within like a year or two. I'd argue he's really good. He has just such good instincts, and like he's just really good. Cardinals. The Cardinals are a team that, I'll be honest, I don't really know about them. Right? They hired not Matt. They hired Mike LaFleur, the brother of Matt LaFleur of the Packers. I'll be honest, I'm not really super like high on that hiring. I don't think it was like the greatest hiring I've ever seen or anything, but it was a good hiring. I won't lie, it was a good hiring in the sense that it gives them it gives them what they need, right? It gives them some stability, I think, also at a coaching position because he's coming from the Shanahan tree and all those coaches work out. And I think it gives them a better chance to probably better. I mean, I think offensive head coaches, especially when you have offensive weapons, are better. I don't know. They're a little bare on that side, but I think overall the hiring could be good. But back to this. I am not super high on it though, because he didn't call plays at the Rams. He was just the offensive coordinator, so it makes me a little worried about him calling the plays and how his play calling could be. But in due time, I guess we'll see. I think though, where do we think the Cardinals are going to go? Right, you got Jeremiah Love. Do they want to go get maybe the best player in the draft? Right, do they want to go edge? Maybe you partner up Josh Sweat with somebody. You got Walter Nolan in that middle, right? He looked really good. So you look at this team, you're going, okay, where do you want to go? Do you want to go out and get one of the best receivers? Is Cardinal Tate that high? Do you like his I mean, he has all the intangibles. It's just the talent, in my opinion. I really like Malachi Lemon. I don't think he's in the situation, but you're looking at receiver. Is Colonel Tate number three overall, right? I think when you're talking about talent wise, Jeremiah Love could be in the situation to get it. I think just be with the positional value, I'm gonna see them going edge. I think they look at those top teams, right? Pass rush is winning you the Super Bowl, right? If you can start on the D line, I think that is a move to go nowadays. And I think you go out and you get Ruben Baines. He's like a dog. He's like a mad dog when he is in the game. He's taken over games. If you saw him against that Ohio State team, he was one of the reasons why this team was in the national championship. Obviously, yeah, they did lose, but Indiana was pretty much they were a beast this year. Not many teams were going to beat them. And Miami, obviously, they were really good. I mean, they beat Ohio State. They beat some good teams again in the championship. But overall, I think Ruben Baines could be a really, really good starter. He's a plug and play player, right? You have him on the edge. You mix that with Josh Sweat. I think that defense looks a little better with Will Johnson in the secondary. Like you start to build something there with a bunch of young players. Yeah, obviously you have an offensive-minded head coach, but I think Ruben Baines, he's a smart player. He's a good player. I think he could be a really good fit for that team. Now the Titans. See, here's the thing, right? I usually in my mock drafts that I've done in the past, the Cardinals were a team that I usually struggled with to honestly have a player. I had a lot of times Arvel Reese going to them back when Dante Moore was in the mix of playing. Obviously, he is going back to college now, so that did change how the board looks a little bit, I'd argue. I think that did change up some things because the Jets need a quarterback. I thought he might go there. I even thought the Cardinals could be in situation to maybe get him. You could argue maybe the Raiders liked him more than Fernando, but I think Fernando Mendoza is just such a good player. I don't think that would have changed anything really. At the end of the day, I don't think it would have changed. But what do the Titans do? The Titans go out and get David Bailey, right? He is the best pure pass rusher. He can't play the. I mean, he can play the run, right? There are some really good run stopping edges. You know, you look at Kendra Folk, one of the best. Um, Hakeem Mesidor, he's really good too against the run. There are some players in here that can play the run that are pretty good at it. Ruben Baines being one of them, Arvel Reese being another. What do they do, right? I kind of looking at Jeremiah Love here. He's kind of just sitting there, right? You add him into this offense. You got Cam Ward. You have Brian Dable at offensive coordinator. Do you want to add in a weapon for him? But, and I'm saying this strong, I think with who their head coach is and who he is being, and I think Robert Sala is going to go out and get an edge rusher, get someone who can actually cause something to make this defense better. I think pressure, we know it helps out secondaries. I think they go out and get the best pass rusher, pure pass rusher. I think that is David Bailey. I think that's a really good pick. You instantly add in a plug and play starter who can come in and cause some mayhem. You know, get to the quarterback, cause some pressure, and make this team a little bit more competitive, to be honest. And also, that probably will help save. I'm not trying to say Robert Saleh could be on the hot seat, but I think if the defense does look better, you could argue that um, it gives him more reason to stay as a head coach. Because I don't know, I'm a little worried about Robert Saleh. He didn't work out with the Jets. The Jets' defense was good, though. And when he went back to the 49ers, he had that unit going really hard for how many injuries and how many backups they had. So they could be a really fun team. I think that defense will definitely be better. And I think you add in David Bailey, and you still have, obviously, the free agency to add in players. So I think that team could be a team that's definitely looking better. And that division is kind of weak, in my opinion. The Texans look like the Texans are really good. Their defense is loaded, but that offense is weak. And the Jags, I don't know about the Jags. I don't like Trevor Lawrence. I won't lie. I'm a Trevor Lawrence denier. But overall, the Titans, that I think David Bailey fits. He will work really well with Robert Saleh, and I think that defense will be better with them getting a pure pass rusher, someone who can get in there and make plays. And again, if he works on his run game, his run stopping ability, you could argue that he's maybe at play at number two. I'd even argue that the Cardinals could want him. He fell to the Titans here. I think that's an easy pick for them to make. You go out and you get someone who can actually help um, the defense and also help out your head coach Robert Saleh because they need that. You need someone who can help the defense out. But now the Giants. I'll be honest. I am starting to look at the board, and obviously I'm noticing Caleb Downs. He could be. I mean, he's a home run hit, right? We know how good he's going to be. He was so good when it came um, to getting around the ball. Like he's always around the ball, making a play on it. He's so good inside the box. But I also am looking at Sonny Styles, right? Their defense is good. I think the front few are really good, so I feel like Sonny Styles probably not going to be in the mix, but Sonny Styles is right here. You do have that tackle with Spencer Fanow. You do also have Francis Mauinoe. You have him there. He could be the pick, right? Because, you could argue that him being able to switch to guard is key, but number 5 for maybe a guy who plays guard for you is just so high. I don't think it's realistic. I do like Gerard McCoy. I think Gerard McCoy could be the best player maybe in this draft. He is so good. His 2023 tape was so good. He could be really good. Obviously, he didn't play, which is going to hurt him. He didn't play at all last year, and I mean, but when he was playing and he is on the field, he's arguably one of the better corners. But you could argue that Mansour Delane is better because he was healthy, and health in the NFL, availability in the NFL is the most important thing. You got to stay on the field. But I'm going to go Caleb Downs. I have to say, I know I'm saying all that to do with the two corners, but I think Caleb Downs, he comes in immediately. He could help this defense like exactly. He's going to come in, he's going to be a culture guy. He's going to come and be a leader. I think overall this is going to be a home run hit. I think again, I don't want the Giants to get him because I think the Giants I don't want the Giants to get a player like Caleb Downs. But if they get Caleb Downs, that defense is better. You also have Jaron Harbaugh. They have Kyle Hamilton with the Ravens. I feel like he kind of is a similar style of player. You could argue, who's better or whatever coming out. But Caleb Downs is a top 3 player in the draft. If you're talking about big board, he's one of the best players in the draft. It's just he plays safety. I think in this mock, we're going to have him go in the Giants. I think the Giants are going to take a shot on him. I think, obviously, 5 for a safety is high, but look at Travis Hunter. I mean, he plays receiver and corner, and he still went up, number 2, wasn't it? With the Jags, they traded up, so it's not impossible for a safety, in my opinion, to go this high. I really don't think it's that crazy. Okay, the Cleveland Browns. I'll be honest, I think this is an easy pick. I think it's going to either be the top receiver, whether that's Cardinal Tate, or you think, Malachi, or if you think Jordan Tyson can stay healthy enough. I think that's really the big thing in my opinion, with Jordan Tyson is just availability. Can he stay healthy with how many injuries he's had? But we are going to go with a tackle here. This offensive line is bad. You got to protect Shadur. Also, think about your rookie running back with Quinshon Judkins. He was so good for them. I knew he was going to be good. He had some off the field issues, but you got to protect him. I think Spencer Fanout is going to be the first tackle taken off the board because of Francis Maunoe being able to kind of play guard, right? You could argue that he might fit more of the guard, but he has tackle experience. So he is really versatile, so you can move him where you need to move him. And you could argue that a player like him could fit, hey, let's say he doesn't work out at tackle, you can move him to guard. I just think teams are going to see him as in Francis being kind of just a guard. I think they're going to see him more of a guard, and they're going to have him lower on the board. So we're going to go Spencer Fanout as the first tackle off the board. The Cleveland Browns are going to help fix that offensive line and help protect Shadur so he can obviously get the ball on the field. Only problem is who is he going to throw to, right? You're taking a tackle here, so receiver is going to be off the board. As you get down the board, it's going to become less talented. But the receiving market, not receiving market, but the receiving prospects are really good this year. I would argue that there could be 4 receivers in the first round right here, just Cardinal Tate to Denzel Boston. You could even see KC coming in. I don't know why I'm saying KJ for some reason. Okay, but the Washington Commanders are on the board. I think this is a pick that is. I got 3 guys. I think Sonny Styles. I mean, Jeremiah Love. Is that kind of crazy, right? You have him with Jaden Daniels. That could be really fun. You got Sony Styles, who would definitely help this team as, he's a really good player right away. You're arguably one of the best players in the draft, right? Sonny Styles is maybe top 5 when you're talking about big board, but he plays linebacker, right? With Bobby Wagner being older, do you maybe want to just get somebody who is going to be a probably plug and play guy who's probably going to get some starts over Bobby Wagner, I'd say, by the end of, not the end of this year, but maybe the start or even like the middle of the year, you could see Sonny Styles getting the start. I'm, but also I feel like corner. These guys, if I'm being honest, Gerard McCoy, I just feel like is a commander. It has commander written all over it. He has the talent, right? Gerard McCoy, you could argue, is the best corner in the draft, just with his 2023 tape, or 2024 tape, I mean. But do you take him with those injury issues? in this draft, we're going to have them going with him. I think Gerard McCoy, if he's healthy and he tests really well at the combine and his interviews go well, teams are going to see that tape and they're going to take a shot. And I think the Commanders are going to be that team. I know edge is a big need. I know linebacker is a big need, but I think they go out and they get the best corner, and they're going to get arguably one of the better players of the draft too, if he can stay healthy and his injuries don't hurt him too bad. Okay, the Saints. The Saints are an interesting team because I would have said, maybe go D line if an edge was still here, like David Bailey or Ruben Bain had somehow fallen to them. That would have been a really good pick, but I think we're going to go Carnell Tate. I think Carnell Tate is going to be the first receiver taken off the board in the real life draft just because of his height, his fluidity when it comes to running. I like Malachi Lemon a lot. Malachi Lemon, he's really good. He's a what's it called? He's like 5'11, but he's almost a jump ball guy. Like you could put the ball up for him and he will go up and get it. So he's a really fun player and he could be definitely a player that is looked at. Um, but I don't think he's gonna be the first one taken. I think Carnell Tate, the size, the hands, he kind of fits the mold of a true X, right? A big receiver. You can go up and get the ball. You throw him down the field. I think Carnell Tate is going to work really well with Chris Olave. I think that offense also needs another receiver because I like Chris Olave a lot. I think he's actually underrated. I just don't think he's not a big body receiver. Like that's just the honest truth. Carnell Tate though is a big body receiver. Throw the ball down the field. Give Tyler Shuck a weapon that he can throw to. Rashid Shaheed got traded and won a Super Bowl, so I feel like you gotta replace him, and I think Carnell Tate's a perfect replacement. A different kind of player though, much different. Doesn't rely on his speed, kind of relies on that frame and the fluidity of his route running. But home run hit. I think Carnell Tate going to the Saints would be so much fun. Also, Kellen Moore, he's a great offensive coordinator. He can definitely have some fun. I'm not saying Carnell Tate's like AJ Brown, but you could use him a little bit like AJ Brown, right? You have him running a lot more of those like fades and stuff like that. I think Carnell Tate though to the Saints is a really good pick. I think it's a fun pick. And I could see that happening. Again, the board right now is going down pretty well. It's an interesting board. I think Gerard McCoy going there at 7 is really fun, and I feel like again he feels like a commander. I've seen the Commanders; they pick weirdly. I don't know. They have a weird draft. They had that one guy. How am I forgetting his name right now? Man, how am I for whatever. They had that one corner out of was it Maryland or something like that? He was so small. It feels like the Commanders are gonna make one of those kind of picks. They're gonna make one of those picks where it's like I can see it working, but maybe not working, and I just don't. Emmanuel Forbes, he feels like okay. I'm not saying Jerome McCoy is even close to the same player as Emmanuel Forbes, but it does feel kind of like that kind of pick where the Commanders are gonna overgo on a guy. They really like him. They're gonna take him. But Jerome McCoy is arguably one of the best players in the draft. You could argue that. Okay, let's get over. Let's get off that. Kansas City Chiefs. Jeremiah Love, right? He's sitting here. You have Jeremiah Love with that offensive line, which is not that bad. Obviously, it's not perfect. It's not a really elite unit, but I think Jeremiah Love could make that unit look much better. It also would take off some stress from Patrick Mahomes being the engine of this team. Oh no! Stay on page. I don't know what I just pressed. Okay, but we're drafting Jeremiah Love. That's an easy pick. You're giving Patrick Mahomes also a weapon out of the backfield. Jeremiah Love, we know it. We're all gonna say it. He could be another player that's a top 3 player in the draft, but because he plays running back, he's gonna go down, just like Caleb Downs. Obviously, in this draft, players are not really falling because of what they're playing. I'm just gonna be honest. I disagree a little bit with the positional value thing. Like I don't know about Caleb Downs. I'm still a little iffy because he does play safety. 5 is a little high for him, but I could see it happening. He's a really good player, and he can come in immediately and make an impact, just like Jeremiah Love. With honestly, I could argue Jeremiah Love could go from 3 all the way down to wherever I'd say in the draft. I think 3 is as high as he could go. Saquon Barkley went number 2, so it is possible that the Jets go for him, but if the Jets do that, then I don't even know. The Jets are just a train wreck, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, though. Okay, we got the Bengals. The Bengals are kind of sitting here. Now, you have Sonny Styles, who, again, immediately could come in and make an impact. You have Mansour Delane, but you got Francis Mawanoe, and when you think about it, Joe Burrow is never healthy. He is never healthy at all. I think Francis, you can argue, is he a guard? Is he a tackle? I mean, at number 10, is it that crazy to go up and get a player that can play tackle and guard? And you're gonna protect Joe Burrow, right? I think it's a great pick. I think this is like one of those things where it really comes down to what you think is more important. Do you think defense or offense? I think protecting Joe Burrow is more important than anything else on their team, right? If they don't have Joe Burrow, they're not going to go anywhere with it. So they're going to go and protect Joe Burrow and actually keep him up for a season instead of just letting him get destroyed, I'll be honest, in the back line. Okay. Miami Dolphins. Okay, so we got the Miami Dolphins. What do we think Miami's going to do? I'll be honest. Miami's sitting here, and I'm looking at best player available. I mean, you got Sonny Styles. He could be a really obviously he's a generational type of player with his frame. You look at maybe a player like Mansour Delane. He is a really good corner. I think, in my opinion, he's arguably my favorite corner. But I don't know. Gerard McCoy's tape is just so good. And then you're looking at edge. They did just release Bradley Chubb. Do you think Kendrick Folk, because of his run playing, is in the situation here? I'll be honest. I really don't think Cassius Howe or Kendrick Folk are in the situation here to get picked. Do you go for Malachi Lemon? You just released Tyreek Hill. I'll be honest, I'm going defense here. I think it's between these two players. I know Sonny Styles may seem a little high for a linebacker, but Sonny Styles is so good. Also, Sonny Styles could go way earlier, by the way. There's a chance he could go up here with the Commanders, maybe even the Giants, I'd argue. I don't think he's going to go up where the Steelers, not the Steelers, the Titans are. But I think pick 5 is reasonable, and I think if you look at the Dolphins, I think linebacker would be a need, but I don't know. They did have that. Didn't they have like a linebacker have a good amount of tackles this year? Mm, mm, I'll be honest. I'm really deciding between Mansour Delane and Sonny Styles. I'm looking at both these players. I like the idea of both of them. I really do. We're we're gonna go Sonny Styles. I think Sonny Styles can't fall out of the top. He can't fall. Actually, he very easily could. He very easily could. But today we're going to have the Dolphins going out, getting Sonny Styles. They're adding a big body to help out with the run game and the pass game. He can play both, in my opinion. And he's going to be immediately, he's going to come in and make an impact. Again, there's a lot of players you could argue in this draft are immediate impact players because they play a premier position at um, edge. Edge is a position that you need to have someone at. I think the Dolphins, they did trade away an edge, but obviously you're not going to take one of these edges down here. You're not taking Cassius Howell. You're not taking Kendrick Folk. It's too high of a pick right now. Sonny Styles, he's arguably the best player available. He's going to come in and immediately be a better, a difference maker. He's going to make that team better. He's going to make that unit a little better. And I think overall the Dolphins are going to get a nice A plus pick. I mean, again, Sonny Styles could go at number 7, maybe number 8, and all the way down. He can go way earlier. So I think the Dolphins are going to get a nice little steal with Sonny Styles. And my Cowboys, I mean, come on, Mansour Delane, one of my favorite players in the draft. I love him. I think he's a great player. I think he could immediately come in and help my Cowboys defense. You know how bad the Cowboys defense is. We don't even have to go into it. That is going to be a plug and play starter. That is going to make an immediate impact on this team. So today, that's all I'm gonna leave you guys. I know I didn't say I was gonna only do pick 1 through 12. We're gonna do a whole mock draft, but I think just with the video length, we're gonna cut it short for today. We're gonna do the first 12, and then I'm gonna drop my second half of this video, which I'm gonna film just right after this. So hopefully I'll get that out to you guys real soon. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you are ready for the return of Dr. Weasel. I'm hoping to try to have a video about once a week if I can. So just, try to keep a lookout for that once a week. Yeah, we're going to have some fun. We're going to make a bunch of different mock drafts. We're going to have just a good time. And let me know in the comments so far if you guys agree with my mock draft. How do you guys see? Do you think any players might go sooner or later? Do you think certain teams are not going to make these plays? Let me know. Just comment down below. Let me know if you guys disagree or agree. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you.